Thank you all for being here to make a difference in the lives of children. We'd like to take a few moments now to hear from Alissa Fowler, a current CRN client whose life has been touched by CRN. Alissa? Justice for you.
Thank you. 2.5 years ago, I had just turned 21, was starting my junior year of college, and was working 3 jobs to support myself. And then I got pregnant. When I first found out, I was terrified. I knew from the beginning that I would be a single mom. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I knew I'd make it work somehow. My biggest goal was to stay in school because I knew that having an education would help me raise a child on my own. I worked throughout my entire pregnancy, up until a week before he was born. By the time he was born, I felt that I was ready to face the challenges of raising a child on my own. Little did I know Sage would have added challenges. Sage Rhythm was born on June 19, 2006, almost a month early. He was considered just shy of full term by medical standards, but physically he was preemie. My first week as a parent was spent in the NICU, hoping and praying that my little guy's lungs would get stronger. I watched as he was hooked up to all sorts of wires and tubes. I was scared to hold him because I worried that I'd pull something out. I watched as the tubes and wires were slowly removed, a little more every day. He was allowed to go home when he was a week old. I thought I was prepared for parenthood. I thought I'd still be able to lead my normal life, except do it with a baby. And believe you me, I tried. For 2 months, I thought I was adapting well, until 2 close friends took me aside and informed me that I was not being a good parent. That really hurt, but it opened up my eyes. I ended up locking myself at home and focusing on my child, trying to bond with him, and learning how to be a parent. It was during this time that I noticed something was not right with him. He cried after every feeding and wasn't gaining weight. His doctor said it was colic, but I knew that wasn't it. At this point, all the money I had saved up to get me through the summer was just about gone. I had enough from my school financial aid to pay my basic bills, but I could not afford childcare for Sage while I went to school. My family still lived 150 miles away, and I had limited support. I looked into different community resources for assistance. However, because I was a student, most were not able to help me, and I was not willing to drop out of school for the assistance. My education was important to me. Fortunately, a friend stepped up and watched Sage so I can go to school. Sage's health problems weren't over. At 4.5 months old, Sage was still not gaining weight and actually started to lose weight. He was admitted to the hospital and diagnosed failure to thrive. He spent 4 days there and every test was run. Fortunately, they all came back normal, but I still had no idea why he wasn't gaining weight. At almost 5 months old, he weighed just 10.5 pounds. Suddenly, all my time consisted of taking Sage to his doctor's appointments, nutritionist appointments, specialist appointments, etc. I was becoming worn, and I was also dealing with postpartum depression. But I managed to stay in school. And then I heard about the Children's Relief Nursery. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was just a place for childcare or respite care. In my first few months as a client, I used respite services so I could go to counseling for my postpartum depression. And then I was encouraged to join one of the parent-infant classes. It was through this connection with other parents that I learned new ways of adapting to parenthood. I learned that I was not alone in my struggles, and I learned how to be a better parent. A spot opened up in one of the classrooms when Sage was 8 months old. By that point, he'd been diagnosed with an oral aversion towards food, meaning that he wouldn't let anything get near his mouth and he wouldn't eat. In that class, Sage received the one-on-one help that he needed to learn how to eat. He also got the chance to watch other children eat and get the social element of learning that I was unable to give him myself. And I received a break. In addition, my case manager, Valerie, did home visits 1 to 2 times a month and worked with me and taught me different ways to teach Sage and play with him and helped me find solutions to the different struggles in parenting. The nursery provided Sage and I with necessities that I could not afford, like diapers, wipes, food if needed, clothes, and even toys and furniture for Sage. When it came time for me to move, Valerie used her resources and helped find us a safe and affordable place to live. And then the nursery helped me find furniture for my new apartment. In my search for help and resources, I found that one agency would help with this and another place with that. I felt like I was running in circles trying to get all the help I needed. The nursery is different. They kind of took the bits and pieces from all the other places and tied it together in one package and called it the Children's Relief Nursery. And if they're not able to help me with something, they found someone who could help us. Because of the nursery, I've been able to spend less time trying to figure out how to make the pieces work together and more time with Sage. So now, fast forward to the present. Sage will be 2 years old next month, and 6 months ago he received a clean bill of health from both his doctor and nutritionist. He is still tiny, but is maintaining a consistent curve on the weight charts. I have managed to stay in school, and next month I will be the first in my family to graduate. I will be earning my bachelor's degree in psychology. Thank you. I'm getting ready to start the process of looking for a job, and it is my goal to work in adolescent and drug and alcohol treatment. My biggest challenge at this point is daycare for Sage while I work. The nursery is helping me try to get him into early Head Start, and I'm crossing my fingers he gets in. I'm excited to see the new changes in our lives as I finish school and start working. For me, one of my biggest accomplishments is hearing people tell me I'm a great mama, finally. I thank the Children's Relief Nursery for giving me the opportunities and resources to learn how to become a good parent. 3 years ago, I did not see Sage in my future. Today, I can't imagine my life without him.